I want to preface this one a little bit by saying it comes in a really nice packaging. Not only does it come in that nice box, it comes with a nice carrying case, which was something I was kind of surprised by because originally looking at it, I didn't even notice that it came with a carrying case, which is pretty cool for reasons we'll cover in this video. So the things that it comes with included in the box are the case itself, an HDMI cable, an AC power cable, a micro USB transfer cable, and the remote control to use it. On the back side of the projector, we'll go over a couple of the inputs here real quick so that you know what it has. It has a DC input for the back. It has one USB 3.0, one USB 2.0. This Type A 2.0 would be good for charging something like a Fire Stick or a Roku stick, something of that nature, so that you're getting the passive charge from the actual device itself and not having to have multiple things plugged into it, while you still have the availability of the 3.0 for some external storage if you wanted to have, let's say, a small NAS setup plugged into it so that you can pull your videos, your files, whatever you wanted to play off of it. An Ethernet jack, a lot of people will be happy about that. 3.5mm auxiliary jack so that you can plug an external speaker, headphones, whatever you want to into that. The HDMI, which is likely 1.4 standard. Also on the back you may notice this grill. This grill is the exhaust fan port. This projector, this little projector, has two fans, one for intake and one for exhaust. Really smart setup. The other fan can be located here on the bottom. You'll also see a thread for mounting, whether you want to mount it on the ceiling or if you want to just mount it on a monopod or a tripod, something like that. If you're taking it somewhere, if you need to set it up in a small space to project something, show something, you have a little thread there so that you can do that. If you don't want to do that and you want to set it on a dresser or a TV stand or something, it also has four really nice rubber ball feet which kind of help it hold the desk or the table, whatever setting you have it on, really well. This is also where you will notice the intake fan. The intake fan is going to pull that air in, while the exhaust fan that I showed you in the back will blow it out. Now if you're wondering about how loud it gets as far as the fan goes, I recorded some sound so that you can listen to it. Keep in mind though, it's recorded, we're up close to it, so you're going to be able to hear it. That's the idea. But in my experience, it's probably one of the quietest little projectors I've had. So while we're doing sound tests, let's go ahead and take a break here and listen to speakers too. Now I compared it to the unicorn of ultra short throw projectors, which is the Brookstone Big Shot, a ultra short throw projector that Brookstone released and almost discontinued it as fast as they released it, despite the fact it received great reviews for what it is and sold like hotcakes. Anyways, this is what I'm comparing it to because the Brookstone Big Shot had one of the best built-in speaker systems. Now while the Brookstone Big Shot has two nice JBL speakers inside of it and gets some really good deep bass, the problem with it is it's not quite as clear, which you'll notice here in the sound test. The Wowoto S6A has very clear speakers, but doesn't quite get as bassy. Anyways, you guys listen and tell me what you think. So something to say here too is that this projector is DLP technology. If you're somebody that suffers from the ill effects of DLP technology, you pick up on the rainbow effect, you see all that ultra shading, if you see the color shifting, this might not be the technology or the projector for you. However, DLP is one of my favorites. It's one of the best for gaming because it has the lowest latency compared to LCOS or compared to 3LCD. It is just really good, really fast technology. However, again, if you're somebody that suffers from DLP rainbow effects, then you're not going to want this projector. So with the LED lamp technology inside of this, we're looking at about 20,000 plus hours. Pretty standard for something like this. It's a 15,600 milliamp hour battery built into it too, so if you need it to be portable and take it somewhere, then you have that, and that is awesome. I love the fact that this is not only a truly portable projector because of its size, but it is truly portable because of the big battery in it, and you can get about 3 to 4 hours of use out of it with straight watching a movie, TV shows, whatever it is that you have on it. If you wanted to pick it up and take it into another room too, it's also a standalone speaker, and again, if you heard that sound test, it sounded pretty good. It might be something that you say, hey, let me go unplug it as a projector real quick, take it into the kitchen and listen to something. Now it really shines compared to something like the Big Shot in the image quality area. Now it's 720p native, which is kind of standard for something about this size. I wouldn't have expected too much for it. We start getting in 1080p or better, then we're starting to look at more expensive projectors. So for about its price range, it's definitely on point where it needs to be. It's got great range, especially for a DLP projector. We'll pause the video here and we'll kind of go through some of the menu and the settings. I feel like this would be a good spot to do that, so let's do that. I'm going to stop right here. We'll go go through the menu and settings, then we'll come back to the rest of this video. There is a lot of questions that people could potentially have about the menu, how to navigate it, and the features and functions it has. However, I don't want to use the whole video in order to do that, so if you have specific questions, be sure and post them down below. Hopefully myself or someone else can assist you with an answer. So a quick tour of the menu. You need to set up Wi-Fi, go over to the Wi-Fi button. You want to turn on Bluetooth, go over to the Bluetooth button. Up in the top right, you'll see that it has indicators where that clock is, such as Bluetooth is on, Ethernet is not connected, Wi-Fi is on, battery's at 100% from being charged all night, and those are your basic indicators up there. You can go into apps to find different apps. It does have Aptoid TV as an app option, as well as the Play Store integrated on it, so you should be able to get most of what you want. If you want to go into Bluetooth mode and use it just as a speaker, you can do that as well by just going to the speaker button and it'll tell you waiting to connect. Your one HDMI output's right here, so if you want to swap back from the main menu to go back to your HDMI device, whether it be a Roku or a Fire Stick or Nvidia Shield or Mi Box, whatever you're watching, you can go to that and it'll swap to it. It only has 16 gigs of storage and it's pretty much loaded down with about 12 gigs of stuff already, so if you're going to put extra stuff on there, you may want to clear off some of the bloat that they have on there already. I pretty much ignore the stock app store and these pretty much all together. I don't really use any of this. But there is an important reason to know about some of this stuff. Whether you're watching something or not, you can actually go in and change some settings, because this was driving me crazy at first, and it was as simple as hitting settings on the remote, going to image, and then from there you can adjust all kinds of different picture modes, from your color temperature to your aspect ratio. I went into sports because I kind of like the sports presets, and I sort of adjusted some things that way because it was way too contrasty, which is cool for a lot of people, but I like my things to be a little bit lighter, so I bumped the contrast up a bit. You can also change your color temperatures. There's a whole lot of things you can do, as well as even aspect ratios, which you don't have to go into this menu to change your aspect ratio. There's a button on the remote for it, but if you like to watch some things in 4:3, you can go ahead and change it to 4:3 to emulate that 4:3 format. Again though, whole bunch of things you can change, really nice. I didn't expect this kind of depth to be able to go in there and really edit things. I was kind of worried that it was going to be stock out of the box. Stock out of the box, everything looks a little dark to me. It's not quite as sharp as I want it to be, but it's nice to know that you can go in and change the picture quality from more than just a color temperature and actually go through and adjust things like contrast and brightness, saturation, sharpness, and color hue. Personally, I like some softer stuff anyways, so that was good for me. If you happen to have a 3D capable device plugged in, this projector is capable of projecting in 3D. So if you have 3D glasses, then you can put them on and watch your shows in 3D. Other things that are neat as well is that you have on the remote this nice digital focus, so that you can just hold it and change it and make incremental changes until the whole thing's in focus or out of focus. Of course, I would say however you prefer it, but I don't know anybody that would want to really watch it out of focus, so you can use that to sort of find your fine line of focus, and it's really easy to use. Now, if you don't want to use it on the remote, there's also a digital focus on the actual projector itself that goes left or right. Really simple to use. You can also turn on auto keystone, but I find that to be a little bit hit or miss. Usually it doesn't auto keystone the way it should, and it'll end up looking really janky, so I like to go in and adjust my keystone myself. You can also do auto rotate, so it can detect if it's upside down. If you decide to hang it from the ceiling and it's upside down, it'll flip the image and display it correctly. Now, it does support Miracast, which is pretty cool and to be expected as it's Android, and Android supports Miracast most typically, anything 4.4 or better especially. If you're an iPhone user, the latest update that I have noticed included iMirror to assist you with broadcasting things from your iDevice onto the actual projector itself. Pretty neat. It includes this with the latest update, so if you get this thing and you're trying to figure out how you can use AirPlay or something like that, it gives you iMirror in the latest update. Just add it to one of the tiles. That way, if it's something you're interested in using, it's right there so that you can set it up and use it. Alright, let's get back to the video. So while this projector does suffer a little bit from a screen door effect, it's very negligible, which is something I thought was well done here. Just, it's great. It projects up onto the wall, onto the screen, wherever you're going to project it, and the screen door effect is minimal. You got to get up there and really look for it. Now, as we compare it to some other projectors like the Big Shot or the LG PF1000U, you'll notice that our cast sizes are a little bit different. At the same distance with the LG PF1000U, we get a much smaller casted image onto the wall. Only a slightly smaller image from comparison with the Big Shot to this projector. You still get a pretty good size. I'll post the measurements of distance to size down below in the description in case you're interested in that, because I'm sure that'll be a question people have. I think that this is an exceptional ultra short throw projector, mainly and in large part because there's not a whole lot of them out there. It is really good. It does use Android 4.4 operating system. I would have liked to have seen something a little better. 7.1 has been out for a minute, and that would have been cool to see. But all things considered, it looks really nice. It's a good replacement to the Brookstone Big Shot, which I've finally decided to retire. I think that the Wowoto S6A could probably come down a little bit in price. $700 might be asking a little bit too much. I know on Gearbest you can find it for about $650. It's $700 on Amazon, but even still, I think the price should range somewhere between $550 $550 to $600. After all, things like the Big Shot did sell for $500 MSRP value, but was often on sale for $350, and some of you had told me you got it for a lot less than that. But in retrospect, again, the Wowoto S6A has a lot more features, a lot more support, and it looks great. 2 HDMIs would have been pretty cool, but other than that, super happy with this. What a great little device, and it's definitely something I recommend if you're looking for an affordable, I know, it's still kind of pricey, an affordable ultra short throw projector. Polaroid was the next one that I was going to look at. They just released one that's 4K, and they released it at a price point of about $1,000, which is pretty typical of a lot of ultra short throws that you're going to see out there. Most of them are going to be pricey. Guys, if you have anything helpful to say, be sure and post it down below so I can pin it and help other people out. If you have any questions, be sure and ask them. I'll see if I can help you answer that question. You guys have a great day, night, whatever it is, and I'll see you in the next video I do. If you're in the market for a virtual private network VPN, then try ProXPN. That's who I use, and they're offering 50% off codes, which you can find linked down below. Sign up for it, give it a shot, browse with security, browse with privacy, and browse knowing that you can unlock streaming services that are region specific. ProXPN. If you want more information on it, click down below. Check them out. Been doing it for over a decade. They're pretty good. Having the intake exhaust fan set up kind of makes it nice because you're not having one fan that's just overworked based on pulse width modulation, picking up heat sensor and thermal technologies that are just blowing on some sleeve bearing. I will cut that out because that's a whole bunch of gibberish they don't care about.